Because that wasn't painful. What a night! Are we all alive? I hope so. The stream gremlins are out in force tonight, my friends. So we started off with a whopping intro the first time around, and just before we were about to jump down and see our little aeroplane, the stream kind of said, yeah. And then we just landed in Ronaldsway Airport, and then the stream really went, nah. And then I had to turn off my modem. And then as soon as I had that done, I had to update Microsoft Flight Sim. And then I got a notification to say my graphics card needs an update. But we're back. We're alive. We appear to be working. I hope. Many thanks, guys, for sticking around. This is the premium streaming channel. I feel like RTE tonight. Anyway. We're here in Ronaldsway on the Isle of Man, for which we have taken off from the Weston Airport back over in Ireland, flew across the pond in our little chariot from Coronado, the Cessna 182. So I've dialed in a new flight plan. We're going to go via Blackpool, then Liverpool, and then Manchester. And that means it'll give us time, once we finish all that, to refill our little coupons and then head down to London. Because the servers are gone crazy at the minute. So I hope we're all back in the chat. Everything's working, guys. Let's hope it's all working. So let's see where we can go. David Dempster, he says, got caught up in your can I land on an oil rig vid, nearly forgot to come back. So did I. That was great fun. Anyway. We have much to do and much time has been lost. So we're going to see if we can get this machine up and running here again. Hopefully this time without any bugs. As we get our beacon and nav lights on. Yeah. We'll let our music slowly but surely drown out here. Our avionics are now on. Engines running. Got all our lights and stuff turned on here as well. Our avionics come alive down on our little panel here. King Gibbon says, finally back. My game is decompressing on the last 3 gigs to go. Nice. Batty asks, so it's easy to remove Copilot? Unsure. Unsure. Benny P says, for me, it'll be such a great opportunity to meet simmers from all over the world through multiplayer. It will become a community bigger than ever. Yes, I agree. I think it will. Batty says, what place is this? This is Ronaldsway Airport over on the Isle of Man. And the stream was acting up along with my internet. So we're going to quickly get moving here. We're going to go to 3,000 feet. Why not? Transponder, we can now go to altitude. We'll click back. We're VFR conditions. VFR is what we're going to fly. PFD. Now, what were the guys saying about this? We have wind data. Throw you in there. 2 knots. That's not too bad. And they're all okay. Our inset. That's all good there as well. As Ken Cleary has just prescribed. Many thanks, Ken. Eric is saying, London, we can go over Silverstone, the F1 track. That's down the... that's over the other side, I think. That's down near Cheltenham, I think. Or for Emma's here, he says hi, good evening. And can we get a look at Birmingham Airport for Casey? What's the IK code for Birmingham? Is it EGBB, I think? Jack Flash asks, are the reflections on the instruments? I don't know, Jack. Let's have a look for you, though. And there's reflections on the G1000s anyway. And yeah, there's some sort of a reflection going on. There are, yeah, if you can see them there. They're subtle, but they are there. Nolan says hello. Right, we'll get our viewership back up to where we left it before everyone kind of said, get a load of this guy.com. Alright, brakes are working. Just wanted to make sure all of that was good to go. We'll get ourselves taxied out here, and hopefully we don't get lost. Yeah, we're getting lost. It's okay, it's a rental plane. We're not worried too much about the tyres. And we're just going to go for any old sort of a runway. Lee Hollingworth is here. He says, hi from Dublin 13. I hope all is well in Dublin this evening. Alrighty, let me know how the old sounds and visuals are working out there, guys. Hopefully it's not the juttering experience we had moments ago. But of course, every cloud has a silver lining. So, Launcha. We get ourselves out towards the runway here. Fixing our barometric pressure. Alrighty. So get ourselves lined up here. Make sure that our baro is set correctly. That was a hell of a bump. 29902, please. And do the same here. AMF says, hello, so happy I've discovered your channel. Fantastic job, man. Please look at Munster, especially Cork. AMF, we were down that neck of the woods yesterday. If you want to have a look at one of the YouTube videos, we went over Cork Airport. RDW77 says, hi, just loading into JFK to buzz around New York. Nice. Jack says, are you using the new NVIDIA driver optimized for Microsoft Flight Sim? No. It's only available to download now, and if I start that, it'll be tomorrow. Goat Dragon says, hey, you're back. What happened to the stream? Went AFK and you were gone when I got back. Don't worry, we made it back again. The internet, there's a serious load on the internet in my location. I think everyone in my neighbourhood is downloading Microsoft Flight Sim, but I think I have it sorted now. Small Fox says, will be interesting to see if your frame rate improves with the new drivers. Jim Oates is here. Good day, mate. Hope all is well with you and yours. Many thanks, Jim. I hope you're keeping well. Roman Fahy is here. Good evening, Roman. I hope you're keeping well. Okay, so we're going to go one notch of flap. And we double check all our lights are on. Lights are on. Transponder is on. And it's time to boogie. So, power is set, airspeed now alive. There's 50 knots. There's 60, we're getting light now. Wheels up. And we'll fly runway heading, and then we'll intercept our little magenta line here. Ken Cleary says, really enjoying your streaming. Many thanks, Ken. Very kind of you. As Obi-Wan K-Wob is now following. Many thanks for the follow, dude. Really appreciate it. Bring our flaps in now as we approach 300 feet. And we start picking up some speed. We'll bank ever so slightly to our right. Get ourselves back on this magenta line as we head towards the Blackpool in Ingerland. Junkie Cat says, do I use a yoke? No, I'm using the Trustmaster Hotas Warthog stick and throttle. And I also have the Pendular TPR rudder pedals. Anthony Carter says, can you turn the tool tips off when you hover the dials and switches? I don't think so. I'm trying to figure out how to do it and it just doesn't seem to be working. Which is a little bit annoying to say the least. Anyway, Nav mode, autopilot on. Nav. Arm RVS, and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should do us. So let's see if the little bug was ironed out, because I did get an update during the restart process. What part of Ireland are you from? Roman asks. I'm originally from Dublin. 265 Petstar would have loved to seen Belfast City Airport. If you go back on the YouTube videos for yesterday, we were up in Belfast, we had a look. We went into Belfast City and then over to Belfast International, and we totally didn't land at an unused airfield by mistake. Adam says, can't wait to be flying here, there and everywhere. Been waiting ages for something to drag me away from Football Manager. This should do it. Oh yeah. Anthony says, that is immersion breaking. It is and it isn't. There has to be something there that'll disappear them. It could be a setting I just haven't found yet. Yeah, so we're not really after fixing the old bug here, just in regards to following nav mode. It's only present on the Coronado plane, so I shan't worry too much. I'm sure Coronado will fix that bug soon enough. So we'll just go to heading mode on our autopilot, and we'll keep it going this direction as we climb here to 3,000 feet. Whiskey River says, I watched the setting tutorial. There should be a way to turn off the tooltips. Okay. Adam says, did you get my email? Adam, would you believe I didn't check? Let me check. The world and its mother threw the kitchen sink at me moments ago. But give it a second, we'll check. We have modern devices, but the internet is quite slow here. Roman says, I'm from Galway. Galway is a lovely part of the world indeed. Armin is asking, can my PC run at a Ryzen 1200 3.1 GHz quad core, GTX 1050 and 4 or 8 gigs of RAM? I think so, yeah. Is that what? The Ryzen 1200? Yeah, I think it will. I think you'll be okay. Or for M says, I got a Warthog HOTAS a few weeks back, gimbal broke and had to return, still waiting for them to send out a new one. Dude. That's like the first time I've heard there was an issue. Adam Quinn, I got your email. Many thanks, dude. I'll have a look over it later on and I will revert. You're very kind. Thank you very much. So as we depart here out of Ronald's Way, get our engine back into levels in which it wants to behave. Noli Nasty, you think they'll bring helicopters into the game? Yes, they will. Coley205 is here. He says, hi Murphy. Hi Coley, I hope you're well. Eric asks, is there a manual to download or is it in the sim? There's a tutorial available that'll teach you the basics of flying. Chippy is here. How are you, Chippy? Alan's here. He says, enjoying the flying. Many thanks. Steve Chapman is here. He says, Seattle checking in. Greetings from Ireland. Hope you're keeping well. Cantoons asks, can you get this on mobile? No. Lee Hollingworth asks, any thoughts on using Track IR? It works great in other sims. Track IR, I can verify it works amazingly well on this. I have the version 4 Track IR, or Track IR 4, and you have to wear the hat. And because I use quite a large TV, like it's a 55-inch TV, it tends to be awkward. Plus I have a number of lights shining at me to brighten up my face, so it gives you guys something to look at. So it doesn't work too well. I will probably pick up the Track IR 5, because that'll clip onto my headphones. That's what I'm hoping for. Adam Quinn says, no problem, hope to see you soon. 100% Adam. Keane Gibbon says, yeah, tooltips in the accessibility menu. Well, sure, why don't we go in? Assistance. Assisted checklist, that's okay. Delegate ATC, no. Aircraft systems. No. Failure and damage. I'll turn that off at the moment. Navigation and aids, it's okay. Notifications, aircraft system, all off. Software tips is on. Turn that off, see what happens. User experience. So, show message log, yeah, we want to see that. No, they're all okay. If we go into our general settings here, perhaps. Accessibility. Show tooltips is turned off. Menu animations. Adjust whether background animation effects in active. No, it's okay. So have tooltips turned off. Miscellaneous. Pilot avatar. You can change your avatar, by the way. They jump into the plane with you. There are a few included, but I'm sure you can get a few more. Data, traffic, sound, camera. Oh, don't seem to have it there, guys. But fear not. Captain Lee asks for specs. I have a i9900K running at 5 GHz, an RTX 2080 Ti, and 64 gigs of RAM. Sir Snafflechops is here. Good evening. Good evening, Sir Snafflechops. I hope you're keeping well. Nolan says, I only get 10 megabytes at the moment, but in December they're bringing a speed of 200 to 500. Nice. 10 megabytes is still going to be okay to run the sim. It might take a little while to download it, but you will be able to run the sim. So we'll jump outside for some scenic shots, because we like looking outside the airplane. Doesn't it look all fab and groovy? I hope so. So as we continue on our approach here, we're heading from the Isle of Man. We're going to ramble over to Blackpool, then Liverpool, and then Manchester. See what we can see. Pandalicious says, wow, the water is so nice. It so is. It looks beautiful. Jim Oates, so with your beast of a computer system, do you stream using one computer or do you pass that off to a second system? Everything is on the one computer here, Jim. RDW77 says, how do I turn off damage? I keep overstressing the airplane. If you go into your menu, so if you're in the middle of a flight, hit the escape button, go to assistance, go to failure and damage, and turn these guys off. And then you'll be right as rain to do barrel rolls and 787s. Brian Bates says, sounds like a turboprop from outside. It does. The sounds are loud on this. King Gibbon says, is Steam itself down for anyone else? Can't even get onto the website. You're not alone in that. T2020 8 cores, you can do both on one. Eric says, or asks, do you fly with a Warthog throttle and do you separate them from mixture and throttle or what? So my controller profile on the HOTAS Warthog, on the throttle system there are two throttles, right? So the one on the right hand side, that's my main throttle. The one on the left hand side is my prop. And there's a little friction button thingy, which is the grey button. That controls my mixture. And it's on an axis, so that works pretty okay for me. 2Peter76 asks, is there any marine traffic? Yes, I've yet to see it, but it is included in the game. Or the sim. Six-Pack Pilot is here. He asks, is the C182T the only or first Carinado release for the new flight sim, or have they converted more already? They are very close to releasing the M20 Ovation, which is a Mooney airplane. I would expect to see that in a week or 10 days or so. Rodrigo says, stunning. Flying as a bird. Nolan says, I would love fighter jets in the game, it would be class. There are some on the way, so Milviz are currently working on a few. There's also an F-14 in development along with an F-18. There's a Concorde due to come out as well. Mr. Spoon is here. Have you tried Newcastle Wicklow Airfield? Yes. I flew over it on yesterday's stream over Newcastle and it looks well. Let's fly. I'm back. Cheers, mate. Great to have you back. Let's fly. Jimmy asks, have you seen Dundalk already? We're up that neck of the woods yesterday, Jimmy, so if you go back through the YouTube videos from yesterday, you will see it. Matthew Moore says, can you fly to Westport over in Mayo, please? Probably won't get a chance tonight, Matthew, but I'll probably might do it tomorrow. SKR, is the real world flight data active? Can you turn it on? It is, but it's giving me issues with OBS. I thought it was actually working okay this morning, and now it's not working too well now. That would be an issue on my end, though, not on Microsoft's. Mr. Moody is here. Well, man. Hello, Mr. Moody. I hope you're keeping well. MBI says, just joined. Many thanks, dude. Boeing 21159, have you landed at Lukla yet? I have in one of the challenges I did that off stream, and it's amazing fun. Goat Dragon says, download complete, time to fly my own plane. Peace. Goat Dragon, you're going to enjoy this. Boeing 21159, just like the stream. Many thanks, dude. Brian Bates asks, have you flown over Clonmel or Cashel yet? So we did Cashel yesterday evening on our search for the Rock of Cashel. And didn't, well, if you look at the video, you'll see what we'll mean. But what I'll do, guys, if you're new to the channel, I'm going to drop in a link here for our Discord, and in this Discord channel it gives you the opportunity to catch up on a couple of older streams, I suppose, as we've all sorts of noises coming in here. But it also gives us a chance then to talk about, obviously, the new flight sim stuff. So I'm just going to copy a link, drop it into the chat. So head on over to Discord, you can join in. We have obviously our Flight Sim 2020 details. All the guys are in there tonight getting ready to install it. If you have any hassles or any problems, we'll let you know. Dazza appears to be doing quite well. Beetlejuice was saying, how's everyone finding the game so far? And Rocket Ron says, everyone's too busy flying. So if you go in there, guys, I'll have a look. Also, we have the group flights page in there as well. I want to get some group flights going, hopefully in the next 24 to 48 hours, with a bit of luck. So we'll see how we go. And if you guys are experiencing any difficulties or problems, or if you're new to Flight Sim or you just haven't a clue what to be doing, talk to us in Discord. I'll do what I can to help out, but we have a ton of very helpful and experienced members there already. As Ska Two-Tone UK is now... Ska Two-Tone. I even butchered your name. Ska Tone is here. And he's following. Many thanks for the follow, dude. Dazza says, flying over Cardiff and it's beautiful. Lee McHenry says, are you heading to London? We are. Nolene, yes, I'll be flying supersonic over Kilkenny. Nice. G4K, when you purchase a license, how many machines does it cover? I think just one. Can you download ahead of release? SKR asks, depends on your location. You might want to consider changing your location in your settings. That might help. Let's Fly says you should fly in Dubai in the mountains. That could be fun. Yeah, sounds good, dude. MBI asks, have you landed at Courchevel Airport? Yes, I have. Great fun. Anthony Carter says, FYI, tooltips option is broken. Reported in official 2020 Discord. Okay, nice one. Greetings from Detroit, says Draco X RPG. Greetings from Ireland. I hope you're keeping well in Detroit. Dargan Gaming is here. Good day, sir. Good day to you. Ska Two-Tone UK. He says, hi, I'm on the countdown for the download. Ska, I like your name. Casey Gardner, please, could you fly over Birmingham Airport? Let's see what we can do, Casey. Let's see what we can do. As we fly into a little bit of cloud here. We're just about to fly over Blackpool. Draco asks, is download at midnight for stream? It should be, depending on your location. I'm having a night of it. Bacon is here. Greetings from Germany. Any chance to see Cork Airport tonight? Anthony Carter is now following. Many thanks, Anthony. Bacon, we were over in Cork yesterday. If you want to check it back on YouTube, you'll get to see it. We're heading across the pond this evening. We're going to check out Blackpool, Liverpool, Manchester, and then we're going to fly down to London. We have the new Orbex London City Airport loaded in, and also the Orbex landmarks. So we'll do a bit of landmark flights just to see how everything looks when it's cranked up Orbex style in the sim. Also, can you fly over Cardiff Airport? It's in the UK. Down by Wales. We might not get a chance for Cardiff this evening, but we will be doing a couple of flights over that neck of the woods over the next few days. Captain Matt Russell says, is it midnight UK time when it comes out, or midnight GMT Zulu time? There was a link earlier on, one of the guys shared it, with all the various release times when the sim is due to launch. Donald Martin is here. Good evening, Donald. Countdown on. Last time I played Flight Sim was Flight Unlimited 2. Oh, yeah. I remember playing that. Chippy says, I think it's 5 a.m. UK time. As Draco Sensei is now following. Many thanks, dude. 2020 asks, is the disc version or the download version better? Much of a muchness, I'd say. as Darvel White has just subscribed. Many thanks, Darvel. You're very welcome to the channel. He says, no, it comes out in 2 hours for the UK, says Dargan. Anthony Carter says 5 AM UTC on Steam. Which would be 4 AM UK time, I think, or 5. Scar Two Tone says 5 AM UK on Steam. 5 AM. And again, it depends on your location. Anthony Carter says midnight UTC for Microsoft Store. Well, that would make a little bit of sense. I have noticed. I have read nothing official, but the size of the folders, and if you go in behind the sim into your program files, I suppose, and if you're looking at your folders where all your files are actually seated, most of my files have been not most of them, but some of them have been updated over the last kind of 3 to 4 hours. That would indicate there is more information traveling from Microsoft to my PC, which would indicate updates. Casey Gardner asks, have you been to a city that has been really unrealistic? Nope. Everywhere I've checked so far, I've been very much impressed. Others I've been happy, and others I've been blown away. So as we approach England, things appear to be working now-ish. We shall see. Ernest Gonzalez is now following. Many thanks, dude. Boeing says, have you landed at Wancho? Is it Raskin Airport at Saba Island? No, I must have a look at that. Brian Bay says, give the RAF boys a scare and buzz the tower in RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland. Mike UK says, if you make your way to Cardiff Airport in a few days, please go to Swansea over the coastline. It sure looks great. I'll definitely have a look at that. Chippy says, I'm guessing Blackpool Tower isn't modelled. Possibly not. No Name Streamer 1, hi. Where is from your accent? It sounds really nice. Well, thanks very much. My accent is from Ireland, in particular Dublin. I married a girl from the county of Kildare. I spent a lot of time in County Kerry, and now I live in County Tipperary. So it's a kind of a east, middle, south, west, middle accent. And my accent will change usually as the night goes on, for reasons for which escape me. Ah, tasty beverage. So we're chugging along nicely here. So we have Blackpool rather, out of the window. And you're right, I don't see the tower modelled. But I wouldn't worry about it too much just yet, considering Orbex are working hard. They've already released a number of add-ons this evening. So we're going to feel the love really soon, I would say. Anthony Carter says, I've got to get some sleep. Early start in the morning. Enjoy this sim, everyone. Anthony, many thanks. Good night to you. And thanks for stopping by. No Name Streamer 1 says, oh nice, I was in Belfast last year and I loved it, especially the beer. Belfast is beautiful. Cartoon Man says, as far as I'm aware, you're the only FS 2020 stream that has shown Liverpool. Cheers. Well, we haven't shown it yet. And if the stream gods are running against me, it could jinx the whole thing. Brian Bates says, up tip. Geek Brunley says, nope, the tower isn't modelled. Aww. Kenneth Naughton says, as long as there's no Japanese twang. Marius is here. Why did the airplane get sent to his room? Bad attitude. I like it. Chippy says, yeah, looking forward to Orbex. I have their True Earth scenery for X-Plane. It's great for England and Scotland. Yep. Whiskey River says, sleep? We don't need no stinking sleep. Paul Bradley says, Gangnam Style. Whoop, whoop. So this be Blackpool out the window here, as we move across and have a look. I'm not from the area, but as I can see, certainly from the satellite imagery below, it looks fairly decent. Have Blackpool Airport down here. As you can see, there is ground traffic moving around. There's like a bus or a something driving around there. Boeing 21159, if I remember correctly, EICK is the ICAO, or the ICAO code for Cork Airport. Correct and right. Deviant Celt is here. I think in Eastern it'll be 3 a.m. Doug asks, will airports that share runway with Air Force bases be fully gen? So far, yes, to an extent. Philip Breen is here. He asks, hey, what joystick or yoke do you use? So I have the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, as we need to turn here. As we're now going to head down towards Liverpool for all our Liverpudlian friends. Alright, comes down. We'll get to it now. And then we have to head over to Newcastle. Do you guys ever watch Worth a Buy? Is it worth a buy? The old Geordie accent gets me every time. Neil Brandon is here. Beg your pardon, Neil Braden is here. Good evening. Good evening to you, Neil. I hope you're keeping well. Can you look outside of the airplane? Yes, we can. We're going to head down by the Mersey, down into Liverpool. Cartoon Man says that doesn't look too bad. Casey Gardner says there's grey and white block of flats around Birmingham Airport, so we will see if the simulator picks that up. Anyone, does anyone know when MS Store in UK allows download? I think in the next couple of hours. Anthony Harkin has just subscribed. Many thanks, Anthony. Philip Breen says, nice, I just bought the HOTAS 4 and collecting it tomorrow to play this. Nice one. Muse fan says, look for the piers. Tower should be between Central and North Piers. Ronald Gorman says, turn around quick, Murph. Dangerous Brian says, after spending time flying over Ireland, how accurate was it? Very accurate. Extremely accurate, in fact. It is missing a couple of points of interest. There are indeed a couple of landmarks missing, predominantly around Dublin, but my sources have indicated to me Dublin is in line for photogrammetry, and I've heard a rumour that Orbex have invested heavily into Ireland over the last number of years in anticipation for an X-Plane 11 release. They were held up with, I think, OS data and some sort of licensing fees, which would be typical, something to do with the Irish government, but I would be very confident that we'll have something released for Ireland at some stage. So we're going to go back to heading mode, because I found a little bug with the Coronado. It can't stay on a straight line. Then again, it could be the pilot. No one ever mentioned that one, eh? Philip Breen says, the words. of the developer. Yeah, worth a buy, guys. You got to check out his channel. Mac is absolutely hilarious, and for many years he is my go-to guy if I'm going to buy any game, period. If any game gets released, I'll always check with Mac first on worth a buy, because he'll tell you the unedited, the unbiased, the absolute truth about any game. Really love his work, so strongly recommend rather you guys check him out. Cartoon Man says Worth a Buy has just released his Avengers beta video. Musefan says LMAO, love the Scouser accent, a solid 9 out of 10 for effort. 9 out of 10? Ah, nice space, comes on, 9 out of 10. Would have been more than that. Chippy, the autogen looks pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, it's not too bad. John says, I'm still here dying to see Old Trafford. Soon, very soon. Nolan says, looks pretty nice. Sir Demo, is that standard livery? So, with the Coronado plane, you get 4 different liveries, but one thing I absolutely adore, because coming from X-Plane, a little bugbear of mine was you couldn't change the tail numbers. And Coronado historically wouldn't give relatively accurate tail numbers. That, I'm happy to report, in Microsoft Flight Sim is not an issue, because you can type in your own custom tail number. It'll appear here inside the cockpit and here outside on the aircraft. So that November 235 Romeo Mike, that's the tail number I use on everything, really. James Starkey says you can pre-install if you use Xbox app. I'm downloading now. Nice. Chippy says that runway over the left wing back there will be Wharton. Murph, how do you turn off the on-screen info and external? How do you turn off all on-screen info in external view? Okay, does it? If I can have your attention, go into. How do we do this now? Bear with me. I'll find it now. Okay, does it? Go into settings, into general. I think it's in here. No, it's not in there. Where did I find it earlier? Accessibility? Oh. Don't go into general. Go into assists or assistance. Piloting. No. Or systems, notification. User experience, where is it? Ah, wait. It's to do with cameras, isn't it? Camera. Ah, okay, so I was right. Go into settings, into general, click on camera, go all the way down to the bottom, find chase camera, instrument heads up display, click it to off. So, for example, if I flick this to on, guys, and we'll save it, and if I now go to external view, we get a heads up display. My mush is hiding half of it. You have a heads up display. You get your normal compass, airspeed, engine, fuel, angle of attack, flaps, trim, altitude, and vertical speed. It's handy if you like flying from the external view. I'm not a big fan of that, so we'll go back into general, into camera, all the way down to the bottom, instrument heads up display, to off, apply and save, go back, resume, and we're sorted. I hope that has helped, does it? Hayden says, I'm really enjoying the channel and I appreciate how you read comments at a great pace where other streamers just play and don't bother interacting with the chat at all. I hope you have a good day. Well, many thanks, Hayden. I do my best. James Starkey, I'm in the UK. Good to see you. Blackout Delta Foxtrot is now following. Many thanks for the follow, dude. I hope you're keeping well. Andy Money says, is that an add-on plane? Yes, this is the Coronado Cessna 182. It's available in the Microsoft Flight Simulator in-game marketplace. David is here. He says hi. Hello, David. Cartoon Man says, RAF Woodvale passing on your right. There is a delay between me reading your chat, but we'll take your word for it. Keen Gibbon says, keep getting stuck on decompressing things, but only 1 gig to go. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Whitey G, wonder why the Coronado does not have synthetic vision. Antimony asks, been to Shannon yet? Went to try the Air Venture 737 sim there a couple of years ago. It's a great spot. It is a really great spot. And I'm back. Been to Shannon yet? So yeah, no, the Air Venture people down there, lovely, lovely people. As the J fella 1981 has just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. Boeing asks, does FS 2020 simulate high schools and colleges or universities around the world? Just wondering because I might be flying around my former school I graduated from. Depends on the area. So if they have a city that's done to the photogrammetry quality, I suppose, yeah, it should be there. T2020, have you found Bilbo's house? Neil asks, is there a steam version of this aircraft? As in the steam gauge? No. Cartoon Man says, worth a buy sounds like Chubby Brown. Okay. Lee Hollingworth says, I love Worth a Buy. Yeah, guys, absolutely fantastic. J-Cat says, 1.5 hours left. Marty is here. He says, well, Murph, greetings from Japan. Is that Japan in Mullingar? Nolan asks, would love to land on the River Suir in Ireland. What plane can land on water? At the moment, the Icon A5 will do the job. Boeing says, nice one, bro. No problem. Doobie Dar just subscribed. Many thanks, Doobie. Aidan says, every time I come back to this stream, you have gained about 100 subscribers. You're going to be famous yet, he says. Q944 is here. He's now following. Many thanks. And so is Anti-Money has just subscribed. Many thanks, guys. We're feeling the love tonight. Now, what I need to do here, because this is going to get real interesting, as we turn off our autopilot and a hush befallens the crowd. This should be Liverpool Airport in front of us. Therefore, the town of Liverpool should be out here somewhere. Which I think it is. So that would be the Mersey ahead of us. So we're going to pan around here to see if we can see any football stadiums for the football fans. So it'll be interesting to see. Tony Robinson just subscribed. Many thanks, Tony. Hope you're keeping well. Many thanks for joining the stream here tonight. Right, lads, who's good at navigation in Liverpool? The Z3 says, got it installed, but 10 minutes, still has disk space. Nice. Nola Gorman asks, does the landing of the plane affect its flight characteristics? Sorry, does the loading of the plane affect its flight characteristics? Yes, 100%. Musefan says, okay, 9.5 out of 10. Nice. Supreme WMD is back. Casey asks, does the A320 have any liveries yet? No, just a standard one, I think. As Russo2610 is now following. Many thanks for the follow, dude. Really appreciate it. Dazza says, nice one. Thanks, Murph. Rough Panda is now following as well. Thanks a million, guys. We're feeling the love tonight. Ryan B asks, what GPU do you have? I have the RTX 2080 Ti. EA Jones, can it be installed on one system then removed to another? It could, but I wouldn't recommend it. As Cowboy123 is now following. Many thanks. Adam McKenna says, hey from Waterford. Hey yourself. I hope you're keeping well in Waterford. Blackout says, aloha and good evening. Good evening to you, Blackout. I hope you're keeping well. Colonel Fork says, I can't wait to see if Kalamazoo looks as good as Ireland in this. I'm sure it will. I know we're passing Liverpool, but we'll get there. What do Belfast airports look like, buddy? Says Stephen Mullen. They look pretty cool. They look very, very good, considering they're default and not handcrafted in any way. Philip Breen says, I'm also new here. Do you share your real first name or prefer to be called by your YouTube name? Or Murphy? You can call me Murph. You can call me Murphy. You can call me Two-Tone. You can call me your man, that fella, you behind the bushes. Or Robin is my first name. And that's Robin with an I. I've been called far worse, so don't worry. Ryan Wilson, have you looked at Galway yet? Yes, Ryan, we flew over there yesterday. If you want to check back through the YouTube, you'll find a video on that. ATS with Joel, how do you get it to load? Can you be more specific? Andy Shaw, just found my 1 terabyte hard drive, can download from the Game Pass for €1 now. Nice. Dylan Watson says, can you use PS4 controllers on PC? Yes, you need to get an add-on. I think it's called D4S Windows, which is basically, or DS for Windows, DualShock for Windows. But yes, it does work. If you need any help with that, head over to Discord and ask the question. If the other guys know how to do it, super. If they don't, I'll help you as soon as I can. So we have Liverpool dock area here. I don't see any big model stadiums, which is a bit of a shame, but what are you going to do? Here's something over here. So we'll keep heading this direction. Keep an eye on that. ATS with Joel says, it's already come out in Australia 7 hours ago. Zuko on 30 FPS, can you play this on a controller? Yes, you can. Excuse me. Lone Star 811, do you expect features to be in the full game on release that haven't been in betas to be a surprise? As Help Desk Jan has just subscribed. Many thanks for the subscription, Help Desk Jan. So I believe this is trying to do some sort of a rendition on, is that Anfield or Everton? I think that's Anfield. And with that, the Liverpool fans are probably cursing their screens saying, Murphy, you haven't a clue. But I think if that's Anfield, would that be Everton? Are they that close? Let's go external for a mo. As we try to look around here and see what we can see. Do you expect features to be in the game on release that haven't been in the betas to be a surprise? I do, but I'm also expecting more features to be added over time. Life Accents asks, hi, do you think, or do you know if there will be a difference between the Steam version and the normal version? No, they're all the same. Tom Atto asks, can you go to Israel at some stage? Not tonight, though. Eugene says, tune in from Canada, loving the content and the crack while you fly. Yesterday's flight around the north is great. Many thanks, Eugene. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That means the absolute world to me. As John Monaghan has now subscribed. Many thanks, John. I hope you're having a nice evening. And No Name Streamer 1 is now following. Really appreciate that. This is like it's all happening now. Tom Packham has subscribed. Good evening to you, Tom. I hope you're keeping well. And many thanks. Oh, sure, it's all happening now. No Name Streamer has also subscribed on Twitch. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. Ain't it a city, Murph, says Kenneth. Can you go to Manchester? Ask Kieran Brennan. Yeah, we'll be heading there now for a while. Zucca says go to Anfield. I do believe that's Anfield coming up just north of the plane. Over here, look. I take it that's Anfield. I could be wrong now. The airfield is on your right hand side. Yeah, I think it is. I wouldn't mind, but I was actually there before. I think that's Anfield, because it's a bit of a walk away from kind of what do they call it, Matthew Street, and then you've Concert Square and all that. Benny P asks, anyone an idea when the real-time live traffic will be actually available with the airline liveries in the sim? It depends on where you're flying. If you're using AI traffic, or if you're using the real-world traffic according to data sources, there are some issues loading in that information, but they should be all working from day one. That has to be Anfield. I don't see any other stadium here, and I think that's Everton then, or maybe Everton's up here. As Cornish Gamer 1980 is now following. Many thanks for the follow, dude. Right, we continue on our trek over to Manchester. So we go back to nav mode, and this will bring us back in the direction, I hope, of Manchester as we continue on with the chat. Keith Byrne says Anfield and Goodison Park. Aha. Antibody says, so does this Coronado Cessna have all the stuff like the default planes, icing, checklists, etc.? I don't see any checklists. It does simulate icing all right. Abrexis says, do you think they will have good hardware support for us home cockpit builders? Yes, they will. Mightn't be straight away, but they definitely will. Nate Grimm, hey, I'm back. Welcome back, Nate. Fergal says, in multiplayer, can planes damage each other in flight? Haven't tried it. I don't think so. Gnas says, I feel like I'm listening to Radio Nova. Dangerous Brian says, are you allowed to show the marketplace? I'm not entirely sure. I've asked the question and they haven't come back to me. Kieran Brennan asks, is this coming out on Xbox One? Yes. Sean says, can you go to the map and show us where you are? So we're directly over Liverpool, which is here, and that's the Mersey, and we're going to ramble now across over to Manchester on the hunt for Old Trafford. I was nearly going to say the hunt for Red October. Casey says, I can't wait to get my hands on this flight simulator. Kiss goodbye to course work. Kiss goodbye to everything. Semi-Duem, have the Scouts stolen your gears yet? Heard they nick them when they go over Liverpool. I've been in Liverpool, jeez, must be 4 times, and every time I've been there I've had an absolute blast of a time, and I love the Liverpudlians. Always very welcoming, they're tremendous crack, and they know how to party. Could you please check in Microsoft Flight Sim Airport EPSD? Maybe not tonight, but we'll have a look at that at some stage. EPSD, question mark. Now what's going on here with the autopilot? It should be a hard bank to our left now, which it appears to be doing. Boeing asks, can you do a tour around Mount Rushmore, the Forbidden City, the Acropolis, Kennedy Space Center, Egyptian pyramids, or something handcrafted? I will be doing that. Chewy94 started a kind of 7 Wonders of the World video. That's something I'm going to be doing myself, and obviously I'm just going to be picking out some of my favourite landmarks, most notably the ones you have mentioned, but also the likes of Rome. Yeah, that's what we will be doing. Philip says, no worries, well, pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you too, Philip. We'll go with Murph, so that works. Zoka says, can you play this on Xbox One? Not yet. You will be able to at some stage. Tom is asking, can we go to Israel? Not tonight, but at some stage we will. Jack Baker says, what a nice man. David Dempster, that's Robin like the DR400. Very good, David. Yes, Robin with an I. Irish people never stop getting new names. I think it responded to like 20 different assorted names and nicknames now, says Keane. As Mike just subscribed. Good evening to you. News fan says, can you fly a little bit lower just when going over the city? Yeah. Don't jinx it now. We'll go down to 2,500 feet. Michael says, Steam has crashed. I thought you said stream. I was about to panic. I was yapping away to myself for the last 10 minutes. The two stadiums are quite close together, says Nola Gorman. Nicholas is now subscribed. Good evening, Nicholas. Many thanks for the subscription. As this, behave yourself now playing. No Name Stu says, yes, they are so close, and you are correct. Haha! Fantastic. No Name Streamer 1 says, I can see you over my house. Tony Summers is here, just joined. Where are we flying? So we took off from Weston, then the stream crashed, then we landed at the Isle of Man, then the stream crashed, and we took off from the Isle of Man. We went over Blackpool, we've just passed Liverpool there behind us, we're heading over to Manchester next. Then we're going to go straight down to London to check out the Orbex London Airport, or London City Airport, and we're going to be checking out the London landmarks, also from Orbex. Cartoon Man says, even though some landmarks are missing, you would still know where you are with the roads. 100%. Newsfan says, Stanley Park is between the two stadia. Mike UK says, do you think the game will run okay on a medium spec PC? Yeah, it will. Cartoon Man says, that's Aintree Racecourse. Nice. Simon says, you got the stadiums right, Murph. Whew. Mike says, come on the pool. Split says, I uninstalled GTA to install this when it comes out. That's a brave move. Six Knot says, just downloading NVIDIA Game Ready drivers for Microsoft Flight Sim. Thanks to whoever mentioned it. Where are you off to after Manchester, says Ska Two-Tone. We're going to head down to London. Birch700 is here on Twitch. He says, does the game actually have towns in it? Yes, it does. Bobby says, I already installed FSX to install FS 2020 for good. Basically, what FSX does is simulating trashy autogen and trashy default sceneries. That's why I love FS 2020 so much. Yes, but I will say we got good mileage out of FSX, and when they released that back in the day, that was groundbreaking. Brandon Staffen, I wish they gave us pilots discount. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. You're very welcome to the chat here this evening, Brandon. Aidan says, I've just joined Discord there. Many thanks, Aidan. I hope you find it helpful and entertaining. SKR is asking, has anyone tried to change the PC location and to download earlier? Is this possible? No comment. Wali Safa, what are your specs? I have an i9 9900K processor running at 5 GHz. I have an RTX 2080 Ti and I have 64 gigs of RAM. Ollie says, didn't work for me anyway. Mike says, it's just incredible looking. Brandon says, my pilot study might be slacking when this comes out. Kenneth says, follow the ship canal and Old Trafford will be on the right after Barton Airfield. Duly noted. Hotmania is here. Good evening, Hotmania. I hope you're keeping well. Guys, Hotmania also has a Twitch channel who regularly streams the X-Plane 11 stuff. I absolutely adore your Embraer videos because I haven't a clue how to fly them, but after watching your streams, dude, I figured out how to fly them. So you're most welcome here tonight. You guys do give Hotmania a look-see. The Working Gamer says, Murphy, sorry if this has been asked before, I've been in and out of the stream. What's your settings and PC specs like at the moment? PC specs PC specs are a i9-99K processor running at 5 GHz, an RTX 2080 Ti, and 64 gigs of RAM. I'm able to run the sim, as Don1 just subscribed, many thanks. I'm able to run the sim on Ultra. Every now and again I have to dial it back down to high settings, only because, well, I like seeing everything at a crisp 60 FPS. But on Ultra it goes anywhere from kind of 48 to 60, and they're on Ultra settings. Demios84 is here. He says hello from Cork. Thanks for showing off Ireland in the streams yesterday. Wow, what a game. It really is, dude. Daily Logan says, let's see out the window. We'll look out the front window here for a minute, as that's Manchester International Airport. Now, one has to get their navigation correct here, because we need to find the Old Trafford, which I think is over this neck of the woods. So bear with me. Philip Breen says, Niagara Falls would be cool to see. Dandy is here. Hey, are you using a yoke? No, I use the Trustmaster Hotas Warthog. Daily Logan says, let's see me house. Sean says, I'm like a 4-year-old on Christmas waiting for the Xbox Series X2 to come out so I can play this. Oh yeah. Cornish Gamer asks, is the live weather working? It is, but the weather isn't particularly great over this neck of the woods, so I've turned it off. I just have kind of default stuff running just so we can see what we can see. Nola Gorman says, you must be the only Murphy I know not called Spud. Well, I was until that happened. As Bomb Bacalat, let's go, just subscribed. Many thanks for the subscription, dude. Awesome news. If I see Grand Canyon FS 2020, that scenery looks very realistic. It does. Jim Oates says, how do you seem to keep up the energy from the start to end? Sorry, Jim says, how do you seem to keep up the energy from the start to the end of the stream, mate? I don't know. Optical Rex is here. I want to play it early. Should I change region? Up to you. Dangerous Brian says, hit that like button, guys. Helps him to contribute to the stream. I really appreciate that, Dangerous Brian. Now, we need to do something here. Old Trafford is... get my navigation right. From the airport, it should be over on the left-hand side here somewhere. I think. Could be wrong. But don't worry, we'll spend a bit of time moping around Manchester. Get our heading bug. That's too much. About there. Let's go heading mode. So let's see what we can see. I'll jump out of the plane. Well, I won't. You guys will. Be careful now. This button. We'll do a couple of flyovers until we find what we're looking for. As Cooper says, flying out from London to check if the world's longest pier in the world is modelled at Southend would be nice. Yeah, we'll have a look. A guy named Kaz, can you fly over downtown Kansas City from Wheeler Downtown Airport? There's a lot of interesting buildings here, like the Kaufman Center, World War I Memorial Tower, and Union Station. We might not get a chance to do it this evening, but I'll definitely add it to our list of things to do. As we continue, don't worry guys, if I fly over it I'll fly back. Avo77 says, do you have to install it on your C drive? No, you can give it a drive. You can tell it where it needs to go. Chandler Senior is here. Is this Coronado? Yes, it's a Coronado Cessna 182. It's available on the marketplace inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. You'll see it as soon as you have the product downloaded and installed. GV Crypto says, any performance increase with the new NVIDIA drivers? I haven't checked them yet. Aiden asks on the Discord, can I send videos and photos I've got of aircraft in real life? Of course you can. So there is a flight media section there. I would love to see some aviation photos. Random person says, please fly over Birmingham. Let's see how we go. Tony's Travels, flight to Glasgow and give us a look at Celtic Park, home of the 9 in a row champions. Nice. Scotland is definitely on our list. Unsure if we get there tonight though, but we'll see how we go. As we continue on. RNS, ever fly to 737? Yep. Chad says, turn on the panel lights please, we'll do now in a bit. Brandon says, well, with those specs you hardly get 60. Well, I'm running OBS as well, so I'm streaming and broadcasting, so that does have an impact on my graphics card. John says, nearly at Old Trafford. Miguel says, will Carnation Street be visible when over Manchester? Deuces asks, can you try Derry Londonderry Airport in Northern Ireland? If you look back on YouTube, we have a video there from yesterday that brought us up that neck of the woods. Jerome says, hello, how are you? What sucks is not the real liveries on the plane in real life. Give it time, there will be. Musefan says, Old Trafford should be in the southwest of the city centre, but still in the city, if you know what I mean, okay? Old Trafford is to the north of the airport, okay? Do you like the graphics? Yeah, they're super. Matthew says, Two-Tone, thanks for the torture and entertainment. My pleasure. Whiskey says, so are you going all night? You can't leave until everyone has the game downloaded. Something like that. Does AI aircraft really hit your frame rates? No, they don't. But they do have an impact when you're streaming, I have found. And I believe that to be an OBS issue. As we try and get some sort of bearing on where we're going. So if it's north of the airport, I'm going to try and plan a little intercept here. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll just do it again. So we're kind of going the right direction. I reckon that should get us a fairly close heading to it. As we jump back outside again. It does look nice, doesn't it? Oh yeah. Right guys, keep your eyes peeled. We're looking for Old Trafford, a football stadium. Nicholas says, can you please go to El Trompilo Airport in Bolivia? Maybe not tonight, but we will soon. Nola Gorman says, are the White Cliffs of Dover white? Haven't checked it. Kenneth says, gone too far north. Yeah, there's a delay obviously between me reading the chat and flying the sim. So we have a small little something over here on our right hand side. Therefore, is it a case that I think I'm on the right heading now, I hope. ProGen77 is here. Is this FS 2020? Yes, it is. Have you ever landed at Scenic? No, not yet. Have you tried out ATC, says Zectech? I have. Piggy Gameplay is here. Hello, hello. Josh asks, can you fly to Blackpool in this game? Yes, we can. Alpha Male is here. Just got here where we had the cap. We're flying around Manchester trying to find Old Trafford. And I'm doing a butcher's job on it. But we will find it. Fear not, we will find it. It's here somewhere. And I don't think that's it back there. But there be the city, and if it's southwest, we're kind of heading in the right direction. So let's see what we can see. We'll continue on this heading, and hopefully we'll find it. As Hayden says, 20 times, Man United, Man United. Nightbot Spirit. Hey man, I liked sub and turned post notifications on. Many thanks, Nightbot. I really appreciate that, dude. Jabbar asks, do you like the graphics? I do. I think they're fantastic. Da Papa. I've just seen Liam Gallagher waving on the ground. Hayden says, Murphy, you should go to every Premier League stadium tonight. That's a challenge. Oh dear. As asked, Cooper is now following. Many thanks, Cooper. UK Bay says, you've just flown over where I used to live, Murph. It looks epic. Nate says, is the game available on the regular Xbox One as Monkey's Panda? No, Monkey's Panka is now following. Many thanks for the follow, dude. I really appreciate it. Nightbot says, do you have a donation tab? Not set up yet. I do have something over on Twitch, but don't worry about it, dude. Save your money, put it into this sim if you want to buy some cool add-ons. Now, I'm flying in the direction of the airport, so is it northwest of the airport? Mike says, Microsoft are onto a winner with this. It's going to bring a lot of new folk to the sim. It just is. We're looking for Old Trafford. It's a soccer stadium. Not a good weekend football-wise for Manchester. If you follow the Manchester Ship Canal, you'll find Old Trafford, okay? Hampus Merling is here. Good evening, Hampus. Hope you're keeping well, as is X-Apron. How did you get that livery? Asked Dylan Shop. This livery is actually belonging to the Coronado Cessna 182, which has just been released over on Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is awesome. Turn roughly northwest. Okay, so if we're at the airport, we're going to use this as our landmark and flying this runway heading. As Mark Leiden just subscribed. So in relation to our heading here, guys, we are south of the airport, heading east. No, we're not. We're heading west. So where does one need to be going? 3 o'clock, which would be hard right. If we're all in agreement, we're going to go hard right. Let's see what this does. Mike says, thanks for flying over my hometown of Athlone. It looks great. No problem, dude. We had great crack yesterday flying over Athlone and Mullingar. Manchester Airport, decent enough. Does it have the pub at the end of the runway? It kind of does. That's an important landmark for any Irishman. Right, so we're kind of heading roughly the right direction, I would think, as we're heading northwest from the airport. We're saying it's due north of the airport, so we're kind of heading northwest, so I'm hoping we'll intercept it somewhere along the way. Matthew says, you're 3 o'clock from this heading. Let's see what this does. Shorty says, I'm watching my hometown from New Zealand, getting homesick. Oh, dude. Well, don't worry. It's still there. And New Zealand is also a beautiful place to be. Right, if that's the canal you guys are talking about, we're flying over now. Des Duffy says, great stream, Two-Tone, and up the mighty Liverpool Reds. Your timing is fantastic, as we're currently trying to find Old Trafford. There's something. What do you reckon, guys? Is that it? Or do we need to look across this way? Directly north of the airport, he says. Well, there is a stadium something there, but that looks a little bit small, doesn't it? Don't worry, we'll turn around and fly it all over again. Ollie says that's Salford, okay. Kenneth says turn right. Are we saying right 90 degrees right or just right? Come here, button. We're going to go for a right turn. We will find it. Oh yes, we will find it. 6 hours later. We're still looking for Old Trafford. We're hoping to find it. Okay. You're like the United Forwards, can't find the target. Head towards the town centre more, okay. It's more in the city, Murph, alright. There's the city. So am I right in saying we need to turn right again? In towards this direction. What's that down there? Okay. Let's manually fly this. Last Scotsman said, it's next to Manchester go-karting if that helps. Matthew Ryan says you're 3 o'clock now, so we're turning right in towards the city. I reckon I see it, but if I see it, it means it's modelled in terms of its size, but not its textures. Am I right in assuming it's pretty much bang over the nose of the plane now? As Frank Owen has just subscribed. Many thanks, Frank. Good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well. So, we're along the canal. Would that be it there? You mean we actually found the friggin' place? Old Trafford with the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. I don't think they've built like a 20-story hotel just beside it though. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. So I'm thinking we're going to need some sort of a patch for Old Trafford. What do you think? That didn't take long at all. Talk about an anticlimax, but I will say, at least now, in this sim on day one release, we have, and we've all witnessed it, we have a landmark that we know needs to be updated. So this will be interesting to see how Microsoft and Asobo, or even a third-party developer, be it Orbex, how quickly they can scramble and correct it. So, by no means a wasted journey. But they have reckoned this, they've gotten the shape right. There is something amiss, obviously, with the height of the building, but they're probably reading from. Don't they have them like white bar frames over the Alex Ferguson stand? So they could be giving the elevation data a different height, and the AI is just reading. Okay, well, the top of the building has measured this height. It's roughly this shape. Like the shape is actually spot on. If that was lower, at least then you could argue, well, they got the shape right. That's the cricket ground on the far left behind it as well. Sweet. As Mad Dogs TV has just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. I hope you're enjoying the content so far. Poke is here. He says, hey, what's up? How are you, Poke? Hope you're keeping well. Now, direct to mode, please. And we want to go to... okay, this could be awkward. Bear with me. Press the button, Murphy. Okay, so my plan is now we're going to head over to London City. I want to pick up a small bit of altitude here as well if I can. Go ahead and arm that. VS is going to go up here a small bit. We're going to climb at 600 feet as we continue on our travels. And we're going to head out to London City next. Mad Dog says, I'm just here for FS 2020. That's okay, dude. You're more than welcome. Shorty says, that was Salford Rugby League ground. Sweet. London, here we go, says Hayden. Paul says, type it in. Does that work? I must try that next time. When I try to install, it only does a 2 gig update. LR, that 2 gig is the actual application itself. You then launch the application and it'll start downloading in the next program. Formula Cat says, I have to go, mate, but I've been lurking and I've been loving it all. Thanks for streaming and safe flights. Formula Cat, thanks so much for joining me here this evening, and you have a good night. We'll catch you on the next one. Lost Scotsman said, I'd be interested to see how well they do big waterfalls in the sim, like Victoria Falls or Niagara Falls. I must have a look at that. Kenneth says, go EGBB and then London. So we're going to go Birmingham first and then London, if I'm reading that correctly, chaps. Let's see now, we'll just go direct to, so EGBB. No, so you can't type it, which is a bit of a pity. EGBB. Okay, Birmingham first and then London. Barry Mack is here. He says the Xbox channel was just in here. Sweet. Keen McGinney says head back to Donegal. Tom asks, can we go via Birmingham? Yeah, we're going to head that direction there now. Look is here. He says hi hi. Westport man in London here. The city upgrade looks superb. Great stuff, Des. As Luke says, I can finally play Flight Simulator. Awesome. Another name 58 says Steam is currently down. Give it a little while. Hayden says, I gotta go, Murph. I hope I have a great stream and a good night and see you later. United, he says. Hayden, thanks so much for joining us here this evening. Finian Murphy says, off to bed, Murphy. We'll catch the rest tomorrow. Keep up the good work. Thanks a million, Finian. Have a good night, sir, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Rocket League Daniel says, Two-Tone, if I meet the recommended but only have 8 gigs of RAM, am I... you may not be totally screwed, but... let's see what it runs. Bournemouth Jet Washing is here. Hi, what graphics card are you running? I have the RTX 2080 Ti. Casey says, can't wait to see Birmingham, as this determines whether or not I get the sim. Holy moly, I better give a decent representation of Birmingham, so. We can cheat. I can do the golden hour. We shall see. Fire. Can we go to K-Rock? The Butter Theory says, do a barrel roll. Probably not. I'll fall out of my chair. Poke says, my pedals are broken. Just want to make sure you can put the steering wheel axis to roll. I've never tried it. Casey says, finally Birmingham is on Microsoft Flight Sim video stream. Huzzah! Khalil says, but Birmingham looks worse the better it's rendered. Captain Dutchy is here. He says, good evening, sir. Good evening, Captain Dutchy. I hope you're keeping well, sir. Many thanks for joining us here this evening. Nolian says, I'm going to bed now. Catch up tomorrow morning. I've been enjoying the stream. Safe flights. Nolian, thank you so much. Good night to you, and we'll catch you tomorrow. JCast says, rest in peace, Steam. The Doc, well done, Murphy. Nice to see the numbers on your stream. Well deserved. Many thanks, the Doc. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. There's nowhere to be on a Monday night. But no, I'm delighted. Thank you so much, guys, for all the follows and likes and subscribes, and holy moly. James 420, can you work as a commercial pilot and take on passengers and bring them from A to B as Pac Lemont? Pac is here. Many thanks for the follow. Totally butchered the name there. It's not intentional. We'll figure it out now in a while. Can you work as a commercial pilot to take passengers and bring them from A to B? Yeah. And there are a number of third-party add-ons. You can work for virtual airlines. So yeah. And I do believe there are other add-ons that we're used to, Air Haulier and such, will be making their way over to the sim in time. Captain Dutchy has just subscribed. Many thanks, Captain Dutchy. Is this Xbox or PC you're playing on? Jason here in Meath. Hello, Jason there in Meath. This is on the PC. The Xbox, I believe, version won't be released until later on in the year. Aviation Gamer says, can you please take off out of Fair Oaks later? Aviation Gamer, just give me the 4-letter code for that airport. We'll have a look. Marty says, just about halfway downloaded, can't wait. Yeah, boy. Luke says, can I play FS 2020 with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060, an Intel i7 and 16 gigs of RAM? Yes. David Martin is here. He says, evening all. Good evening, David. I hope you're keeping well. I'm in Birmingham. I hope they have the bull ring, says Mad Dogs. Good luck making Birmingham look good. Don't be hating on Birmingham. Aidan Darty, is there any other way to send you videos on Discord with doing this Discord Nitro thing? I'm unsure, Aidan. If you're badly stuck, if you want to drop me an email, or if you have a Dropbox or something like that. I also have social media. Twitter is up that direction, over there. Then you have YouTube, and then I have a website. Poke says, but is there another option to pull it to roll? Yeah, there will be. The Butter Theory, by the way, what aircraft are we flying? So we are in the Coronado Cessna 182T, brand spanking new release over on Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's a day one release for both the sim and for the aircraft. And so far so good. I'm liking it. There's the tiniest little bug when it comes to following the magenta line when you have nav mode on. But apart from that, it looks great, it sounds great, and they've added a couple of the Coronado goodness. You can open the windows, you can open the doors, our sun visors work. Things to keep you busy during a flight. Last Gosman says, I have a 1987 Atari, can I play this on it? You can, but you'll need to put a decent PC sitting on top of your Atari. Ollie43, Takeoff out of Fair Oaks after, Aviation Gamer says. Jay Pazer's here, or Jay Pazer. What are your PC specs, Murphy? An i9 9900K running at 5 GHz, a RTX 2080 Ti, and 64 gigs of RAM. Omar says, can you fly over Stonehenge? Probably do it tomorrow. Provash Paul is here. What joystick are you using? I use the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. As Sko19 says, you flew past my house before. Nice. Tartan Sheep is here. Hello again, Murph. Hello, Tartan. Hope you're keeping well. Dangerous Brain says, come on, guys. We should be able to double those likes. Shameless plug coming up. Huh? Now that that's out of the way. Wait, so the Xbox copy for Microsoft Flight Sim coming out tonight? No, the Xbox won't be released, I'd say, for a couple of weeks. Kenneth Danton says, our navigation reminds me of that kids' film, Flight of the Navigator. Julero SK said, is it out? Depending on your location, it might be. JKG says, when can I download the game in the UK? It should be available in a couple of hours. He says, I have it on Steam. I think 0300 Zulu time. Is there an option to put the steering wheel access to roll unlike X-Plane? I don't know that. Unsure. Rough Edge says, are you going to be flying the plane tonight or are you just on radio mode? As Wow Pedro Santos has just subscribed. Many thanks. Well, we're in a plane, it's on autopilot, and yes, I'm on the radio. We were doing manual approaches alright and we'll be flying around, but we're just in the cruise now at the moment, dude. Matthew asks, how fast is your internet? Usually 50, it's at around 20 tonight. Boeing says, G1000 gauges look cool, but we can't touch the G1000 screen. Yes. Luke says, what is the Discord server name? I'll drop a link here now in a sec. Wesley Harford says, what are you flying? With the Coronado Cessna 182. As Kyle Jones just subscribes. Many thanks, Kyle. King Gibbon says, I can hint that the T-Flight 1 Trustmaster is Xbox compatible, has its own settings in the game. Sweet. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Whiskey River says, opening the doors is not a good way to stay busy during the flight. No. Spenny says, don't try the game on keyboard and mouse, it's awful. Arak, can you spin the little air vent things? I don't think so. Jaden Sullivan is here. Good evening. Many thanks for the subscribe. I hope you're keeping well. 2 Bravo Mike is here. Hi Murph. If you get a chance, can you do a touch and go? That'd be grand. Nice view of Blenheim Palace. Cool. James 420 also subscribed. Many thanks for that. Tom Packman says, I want to fly the Mac Loop. As Phil Jones has also subscribed. Many thanks for that. I think everything's working the way it should be. Last Gossman said, I've pre-ordered, but it only seems to have downloaded the shortcut. So I think the program file is about 2 gigs and it'll download everything it needs when it's ready to. Joey Gomez is here. Hey, how's it running? Fairly well, Joey. I've had it the last couple of days. Wow Pedro says, I just arrived. Is this the C-182? It is. As I have a quick look over here, as I must drop my Discord link for you guys. I thought I already had it. I think I do. Aha! I have it. The Discord link is just gone into the chat as Michael Stewart has just subscribed. Many thanks, Michael. Really appreciate it. So don't forget, guys, we're over on Discord as well. Look says, I can't see Murphy, only a black screen. Try a refresh there, look. It appears to be okay. Spenny says, just trying to give you a good sign not to do it. Can we see the interior of the Coronado, asks Matthew. Of course we can. So we're in the cockpit vision. This will be the back seat as we pan around here. Will this be the back of it? As J Brock DBD just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. I'll disappear me for a minute. So you can see the lovely texture work from Coronado. As BZKRT is now following. Many thanks for the follow. Guys, I'm a little bit overwhelmed from all the support you're giving the channel. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying the content as we go. So yeah, the modelling is done insanely well. As George Fletcher just subscribes. Many thanks, George. I'll scoot up to the front here and then pan ourselves around. Coronado will never let you down when it comes to the eye candy. JCat said, Steam is busy sacrificing a goat. As we'll jump to some exterior shots now as we fly over some beautiful British countryside. How's that looking, guys? Skittles the Meerkat just subscribed. Many thanks, Skittles. QWERTY Pro says, I know people always ask, and you're probably answered a million times, what's those PC specs? As Bajarki Olafson just subscribed. Many thanks. PC specs are an Intel i9 9900K processor at 5 GHz, an RTX 2080 Ti, and 64 gigs of RAM. As Stefan89 just subscribed. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate all the subscribes here this evening. As Torsion24 is now following over on Twitch. Paklimo says, are you using a controller? So I use a controller to control my views, and I have a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. Blue Streak Aviation. The F Simmer has just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. I do hope you're all having a pleasant Monday evening on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Eve to steal OzFlight Simmer's title for this evening. Al Jones says, I'm a flight instructor back in the States who got started in aviation on Microsoft Flight Sim 98. Glad to see streamers keeping the passion alive. Well, Kyle, hats off to you. You certainly have a dream job based on my worldly point of view. Is it Isla Movic? As Raylene has just subscribed. Many thanks, Raylene. Can you fly over Belfast? We did it yesterday. If you want to go back on YouTube, you'll see one of the videos there. The Voter Theory says, activate 737 MAX 10 mode, please. Liquid says, 35 minutes to go for the UK download. Nice. Dangerous Brian says, a challenge. Can we get 200 likes before midnight? Eek. Leslie asks, how does the 182 sound? Very good. Odesi asks, how are you flying the 182? It's from Coronado. It's released there today. It's available in the Microsoft Flight Simulator store. Once you have it all installed, you'll see the marketplace, and there are a number of day one add-ons ready to purchase if you would like. Boss Scotsman said 147 gig download, so I can play it on Friday. Papa Joe says, what is Discord? Discord is just like a chat kind of a thing. You can share some media, pictures, videos. You can talk over your mic and webcam or whatever. It's just a place kind of to hang out. QWERTY Pro says, 6 hours away from release here on the East Coast in the USA. Nice. David Martin says, has to be the best sim out there, out of the box, amazing scenery all over the world. Is the real weather working again? Yes, they fixed that, David. Everything's working now. Viper78 is here. He says, hi all, looks good. Are you planning any dissimilar ACT en route? Says Von White. Would it be ATC perhaps, you mean? Nothing at the moment. Brain Dead Logan says, is this the C-172 G1000? No, this is the Coronado Cessna 182. As 2 Bravo Mike is now following. Many thanks for the follow, dude. Are you using a standard camera? No. Well, by standard camera, can you elaborate? Can you hop on a different plane and just ride along? No. As Lost Scotsman is now following. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Querty Pro says, I made a friend of mine throw up in the back seat of a Cessna 182, right about where you're sitting. Eek. Papa Joe asks, dumb question, will the CH Eclipse yoke work with the with FS 2020? Yes, it will. Querty Pro says, specs bro, i9 processor, 9900K at 5 GHz, an RTX 2080 Ti, and 64 gigs of RAM. Braindead Logan says there's a C182 in FS 2020. Yep, it's in the store. Chris says, man, I cannot wait for midnight to get here. Oh yeah. Hatgoon asks, so is Navigraph data current with release? So they're using Nav Blue, and the AirArc is current. So yes. Ryan says, where are we in the UK? I live in Cumbria, so we've just headed south of Manchester, heading towards Birmingham. Blue Streak Aviation, heyo, subbed, many thanks, dude. Tom Packman, is that Rutland Water ahead? Could be. Stefan says, is this real life? It looks fairly close. Dangerous Brian says, I need to sort the spec. I do. I've tried it twice. It works fine on Twitch. Doesn't seem to be working now. Wesley asks, how much is the C182? It's €29.99 in the store. Alberto Miguel Espanola says, how big is Microsoft 2020? It's the size of the planet. Download size, once it's fully installed, will be about 130-ish gigs. Roman Fahy is back. I'm back. Did you miss me? We all missed you, Roman. You're very welcome back. As Cristiano Finazzi has subscribed. Many thanks, dude. Air combat training, says Von. Very good. Boeing 21159 says, I'm back from having lunch, as Von Might has subscribed. Many thanks. That's okay, dude. Roman says, your face image is gone. I'm doing us all a favour. We're enjoying the scenery. Adam Powell is here. He says, hello from Tyrone. Hello, Adam. Hope you're keeping well. RM is here, or RM is here. Hello, how are you doing? Doing very well, thanks. Jen O'Brien asks, what's the performance like on the new sim? It's very good. As Gaming Powell is now following. Many thanks. What camera am I using to pan around? This is the drone camera. Good afternoon from San Jose, California. Good evening from Ireland. Count Davis says, is this default scenery included around the whole world? Yes. Don Juan says, good morning from Indonesia. Good evening from Ireland. Taffy's travel videos, where are you flying over? We're kind of in the middle of England at the moment. John Switch is asking, can you upgrade versions of Flight Sim, say from standard to deluxe? Yes. RM is in Australia. It's nearly out. Nice. Will Nav Blue update for free? I believe so. Papa Joe says, enjoy your stream. Do you stream on a regular basis? I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 PM GMT, which is Greenwich Mean Time. If you check out on Twitch, you'll see the details there. What are the graphics like at lower altitude? Well, we're not exactly very high. We're quite low here at 3,500 feet. But yeah, they look good. They look very good. Mark Pendleton says, evening from Exeter. Good evening, Mark. Hope you're keeping well. Toby Ward says, good midnight from Sweden. As Dollarman says, is this fantasy or is this reality? Moose Fan says, good night, got to hit the sack now, Murph. Enjoyed following you this evening. Delighted to see your channel growing, well deserved. Nice to see someone flying the tricolour in the swimming world. Moose Fan, thank you so much for joining me here this evening. The video will be available on YouTube to catch out tomorrow. There's probably going to be 3 or 4 of them because the stream is having its it's having its issues. But fair enough, we'll catch you on the next one, and thanks for all your help tonight. QWERTY Pro asked, did they successfully make one server for every player to enjoy multiplayer together? So they have multiple servers in multiple countries, but they all talk to each other on the Azure platform. So, we're at Birmingham. So I take it you'll all want me to spin over to the right hand side. I have to say that autopilot issue doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. Strange. So we're going to bank right here over Birmingham. Mark says, all good, thanks, just finished an 11-hour shift. Yeesh. Keane says, just found out about a grass strip across the lake from me because I saw it on the map. Time to fly. Ronan asks, do you play hurling? I don't, Ronan. I don't play hurling at all, Ronan. Any input on how well modelled Garmin units are? The G430 in particular, asks Small Town Flyer. So-so. As an entry point or as the first iteration, they're okay. Mad Dog says, go lower, he says. We'll drop it down 1,000 feet, arm that, and V-speed it. We'll V-speed it down, and let's see what we can see. Because we'll try and get you some nice views overlooking Birmingham. Can you visit Cork? Asks Mr. Autopup. We were in Cork yesterday if you want to check out the YouTube videos from last night. How does ATC work? Is it better than FSX? It is. Santa Pod drag race track is near me. I wonder if I can land in it, says Leroy Williams. Give it a shot, dude. Small-Town Flyer says, thanks, nothing that's on payware, can't help it, 100%. Mark says, looks beautiful, graphics are smooth. What motherboard are you rocking? Ask QWERTY. I use the, what is this? The Asus ROG Z390, I think. Small-Town Flyer is subscribed, really appreciate it, dude, thank you so much. Bong says, I love the graphics. Scott Chuton says, that was Villa Park. Nice. Toby Ward says, I wish you could show Lake Vernon in Sweden, or Vänern. We'll probably have a look at it tomorrow, if that's okay. Autopilot says, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yep. Ian Chap says, go Roundwood. Graham Woodcock says, can you see my comments? I think I can, Graham. I might have missed one or two of them though. So if I have, just put them in again. We'll have a look. Casey says, wow, Birmingham actually looks pretty good from up there. It's 50% sold to me. Can we go to the airport way? Might be able to see my house. No problem. We will do a UE. Zoom in here now. As Darren Bond has just subscribed. Many thanks, Darren. I hope you're keeping well. And I hope you're enjoying the stream this evening. Revan 2006 is now following. Many thanks, dude. Guys, thank you so much for all the subscribes and likes and comments and taking the time out of your day to join me here this evening. I really do appreciate it. Mark Pendleton asks, can I cross-platform or do I have to... Hang on. Can I cross-platform play Sim or do I have to buy it on PC? As Nathan has just subscribed. Many thanks, Nathan. I don't think it'll work cross-platform. I could be wrong, though. John Rose said, I would love to see how Sharm el-Sheikh looks. Do you butter the landings, says the butter. I have been known to butter a landing, but at the same time, I have been known to, well, leave the landing gear on the ground or leave them back at the runway. Aaron Bailey says, not seeing any telegraph pylons. You could be right. I don't think I noticed them. Vesper says, hi, I can get to the start menu button. When I press a button, it crashes. SVE just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. Vesper, it sounds like you're having some sort of an issue. Is it trying to load or has it downloaded fully? Al Ren says, can you fly a route in the A320? Probably tomorrow. David Martin reports that Steam is back up and running. Firefire says, last night was a long stream. I got schnockered. I was going to say snookered in my chair. I woke up at 4 a.m. Nice. Graham says, I'm in the UK, ordered the deluxe version. Nice. Igor says, GTX 710 will be okay. Can we show Dortmund, please? It's my hometown. Maybe tomorrow, dude. Amazing job by Asobo, Murphy. I think it looks fairly good, Obi-Wan. Considering there's no photogrammetry here, this is just using Bing data. Vesper says, I can't get it to download full, so you should be able to download the launcher program, which is about 2 gigs. When you have that done, make sure you're pointing it onto a storage device that has enough space on it. Matty says, 16 minutes left. Adam Powell says, can you carry passengers in the bigger planes? You can add their weight and balance in. I think GSX, or is it? Yeah, GSX will probably have an add-on coming out relatively soon. Vesper says, I have it on Game Pass. It may not be available to fully download yet either, Vesper. Just double check that as well. Dave McKee says, the A320 is still pretty twitchy when it comes to the autopilot. It is a little bit. And the systems modelling, yeah, it's very automated. What time is the UK for download? Asked Simon Finch. I think a couple of hours. Mark says, this type of sim is long awaited, about time. Absolutely. And I do consider ourselves, this generation of flight simmers, very lucky to be in a time that we have this level of advancement in flight simulation. I think it's fantastic. QWERTY says, thank the Lord for this sim. There couldn't have been a better time to keep you occupied and away from the COVID. Hopefully we see everyday normal life come back soon. Absolutely. And yes, that is a huge point to make. You know, like, I'm not on the bandwagon here, but Microsoft and Asobo have really knocked it out of the ballpark here, considering they're giving us access to this sim. And we might say there's the odd bug here and there, but it beats the hell out of not being able to travel, doesn't it? We can virtually travel anywhere on the planet now. Boeing asks, will the RTX 2060 Super handle FS 2020? Yeah, no problem. Magic Cornflake is saying, any chance of diverting northwest over Preston? Probably not tonight. We're going to head over to London next. Kenneth says you should get commission off Microsoft for this. Vaughn is asking how long before we can do VAT Sim with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. A couple of hours, I think. Casey says, I'm confused. I can't find the airport. As in Birmingham? I'll spin around to the airport. As Simon Finch has just subscribed. Many thanks, Simon. We're kind of bang on towards the airport here now, guys. That should do us there nicely. Andy Beast in UK has just subscribed. Many thanks, Andy. I hope you're keeping well. Kyle asks, how's the FPS at very dense areas? Not too bad. Joel is asking, can we go to Bristol? Probably tomorrow, I'd say, at this stage, as Yeti just subscribed. Many thanks. Dave McGee says, this game has saved me hundreds of dollars, and now unneeded add-ons just get a good looking sim. 100%. That's why it says, I wonder what X-Plane 12 will be. Nickel, can we fly to Bermuda Triangle and not get lost? I almost got lost going to Old Trafford, so it doesn't look good. As Graham Woodcock has just subscribed. Many thanks, Graham. You're very welcome. Igor says, I can't wait to get my FS 2020 tomorrow. Mark says, what's good about this sim is the size and the amount you get. Stock is awesome. Oh yeah. FS Velocity is here. What city are you flying over? This is Birmingham. Located kind of mid to south England. Patty says, I just finished my Euro Truck Sim destination to London. Nice. We're going to head to London next. Vesper says, I'm in South Africa. It's out here, so I don't know what's going on. As D2CJ just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. Vesper, if you're in South Africa, what is your local time there? Because I reckon you're a little bit early. Lewis Phillips says, can you go check out my nan's cat, please? She's in Wigan. Bobbing says, Murphy, you're the best streaming channel. That's very kind of you to say so. As we've just now headed over Birmingham, we're now going to head over to London. Let's see here now. So we're going E. I pressed the wrong button. Igor has just subscribed. Many thanks, Igor. Really appreciate it, dude. E. G. Stephen Collins has just subscribed. Many thanks, Stephen. Hope you're keeping well and you're enjoying the stream tonight. I think it's EGLC. London City. Nick Hill has subscribed as well. Many thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. Let's go to nav mode. And we want to bring our altitude up to about the 350. As we're going to climb here as well at around 500 feet per minute. It just looks pretty. as we continue on our flight here. Bon says, for real, VATSIM at launch. I haven't done it for a few years. Last I remember, you need Squawk Box. I think it's vPilot is the plugin you need. Andy Shaw says, Game Pass downloaded about 1 gig, then it locks you out until 12. That could be the problem that Vesper has. So bear with it. Charles says, 1650 Super with a Ryzen 5 3600, good enough for medium settings? I say yes. Surprising amount of apartment buildings in rural Mayo. Might need some fixing on what types of buildings to put in a region. Keen, yeah, little bit. Count Davis says, is Track IR5 supported? Yes, it is. Dangerous Brian says, 44 likes to go in 15 minutes. Mark says, I feel that Microsoft aren't ripping us off here. There's so much content on the base sim. Thanks, Microsoft. I agree. Paddy says, 10 minutes left, OMG. Dave McKee says, only pitch that matters is Anfield for me. Scouts are for life. Nicholas says, it's not 10 minutes left. The game will be released at 4 UTC for everyone, so that's 5 hours, 10 minutes time. Aaron says, there's sheep in the fields. Alex says, can you go to Bournemouth? Probably tomorrow. Mark asks, am I a real pilot? I am not. I have a couple of hours in a Cessna 172, but nothing to write home about. Let's Fly says, it's amazing how many new subscribers you have gained over the stream. It's absolutely nuts. I couldn't be more happy now, to be honest, but yeah, absolutely crazy, guys. Really feeling the love here on the Two-Tone Murphy channel. So I thank you all very, very much. Thanks, Silver's here. Hi, everyone. Good evening to you. Mad Dog says, that airport looks really good. I go watch the planes come in on weekends. Spot on. Nice one. Pong says, I really miss the BA318 so much. 2020 Guru says, or Goro says, yo, this is amazing. Tom5 is here. He says, do you think they will add photogrammetry data for other cities? Yes, they will. They are committed to adding more. Small Town Flower says, oh, is this the Coronado 182? Yes, it is. As Captain MacDuff has subscribed. Good evening to you, Captain. I hope you're keeping well. Mark says, it's an immersive, relaxing sim. Wait till you guys see the weather. Dangerous Brian says, 365 watching and only 162 likes. The target is 200 by midnight. Holy mo... There's a lot of people watching. Hi everybody. Can you point me to a short G1000 tutorial that shows me how to change the heading and altitude? As Michael James Green has just subscribed. Many thanks, Michael. You're very welcome to the channel. So on the G1000, so some of your smaller aircraft, you're going to have 2 of them. And these are your 2 screens. Gary Own Paddy 2015 is here. Hello, Gary. Many thanks for subscribing to the channel. I hope you're having a nice evening. Usually these 2 screens would be interrupted with either a communications or an autopilot system. Alright, so you have buttons usually on the bottom row, and the buttons are only active if you see information above them. If you want to change your altitude or your heading, you have these knobs here. So if you bring your mouse over to them, you can roll your mouse wheel, or failing that, click and hold and drag it in a direction, and that'll change your heading. Your heading is going to be indicated on your main compass, if you like, which is this guy here. So I'm flying on a GPS route, which is programmed into the FMC or the GPS, basically the computer for the airplane. So it's already selected that. And CDI, you can select between VOR navigation, which is it variable omnidirectional range, I think, or vertical omnidirectional range. Anyway, you can read up on them. But essentially, on GPS mode, the aircraft will follow this magenta color line, and that's the same over on your map. As Toby Ward has just subscribed. Many thanks, Toby. If you want to just go by your heading, you'll notice this kind of a teal blue colour, or turquoise blue colour. And if I were to move the heading bug using my roller ball, you'll see it move. Now, one thing handy, it's giving you a heading here in degrees. So north is always going to be 0 or 360 degrees. South is 180 degrees opposite to that, so 180 degrees. And then you have east at 90 and west at 270. So 90 degree angles, and then the smaller ones you'd have 45 degree angles, and so on and so forth. So once you select your heading, or the heading in which you want to fly in, you then need to activate your autopilot system. And this one here, it looks like it's using the Bendix King autopilot system. Where basically you would have to make sure that there's power going to your autopilot. You can then select what do you want to follow. Do you want to follow your heading bug or your nav bug? Your nav bug is going to be your GPS plan or your VOR. So you turn on your autopilot, you hit either of these, and then the aircraft will then turn in the direction to follow either that line or that line. Altitude works in a similar way. You can select your altitude from another knob here, or in this aircraft you can select it from down here. Once you select your altitude, you can then tell your autopilot to hold your altitude. As Lucian Schupfer has subscribed. Good evening to you, Luz. I hope you're keeping well. So you can select hold the altitude or V-speed. V-speed basically means vertical speed. How fast you want the aircraft to climb or descend. And it's rated in minutes, feet per minute. So I hope that helps a little bit, Casey. Mike says, I could never want FSX. For me, it was terribly flawed. I have tons of errors on FS9, which was a good sim. But Microsoft have got their act together with this one. Oh yeah. And Aaron says, and everyone will unsubscribe once we have the game. Well, I hope not. Adam Mashers is here. Good evening to you, Adam. Hope you're keeping well. Gary says, fantastic visuals, top notch. You must give a spin around Shannon at some stage. But Gary, if you go back on YouTube, we flew around Shannon there yesterday. USMC 8825 has just subscribed. US Marine Corps 8825, you're very welcome to the channel. Samuel says, would be nice for Orbex to do bush fields by country or by state in the US. They're working on it. Dangerous Brian says, so close, 12 likes to go. 2020 says, his accent is an absolute crack. David Dempster says, okay UK, let's go break the internet. Murphy plays stuff. I like your name there, Murphy. What time does it unlock in Ireland? In about 3 hours, I think. Let's Fly says, I've loved catching your streams, second time watching. Thanks a million, dude. Boeing 21159 says, bye bye guys, good stream. Boeing, good night to you. Take care. Many thanks for stopping by tonight. And we'll hopefully catch you on the next one. Miguel says, I'm still wowed by the weather transitions. I got to go to bed now, but thanks for another great stream. Many thanks, Miguel. We'll catch you on the next one. Viraj asks, what plane is this? This is the Coronado Cessna 182, just released tonight for Microsoft Flight Simulator. R4M says, it's time. Michael James Green says, gave a sub, love the stream. Thanks very much, dude. Julian Thompson says, gotta go now. Hi from New Zealand, by the way. Kia ora, dude. Take care. Paddy says, it's now released. Andrew Weir says, loved the Dublin-Belfast flight yesterday. Great to see you flying the flag for Ireland. Keep up the good work, lad. Andrew, thanks so much, dude. Totally Real Name says, 2020, not wrong. Casey asks, is there a free camera mode? Yes. This is a drone camera I'm using, as Boulder65 is now following. Many thanks, Boulder. So this is a drone camera. I control it with an Xbox controller, would you believe? It's just easier. As Elliot Connolly has just subscribed. Many thanks, Elliot. R4M has confirmed it has just unlocked in Ireland. Gary Owen says, how will I find the Shannon vid? It's in one of my videos, yes. If you go into the YouTube channel, Two Tone Murphy, you'll see the previous streams. I think it's on our first video. Graham says, it's working, I'm on it. Good night, guys. Graham, fingers crossed everything works out for you, and I really hope you enjoy the sim. Keane says, it should be unlocked on the Microsoft Store in Ireland now. Totally Real Name says, it's unlocked in Ireland. Yeah, boy. DJ Stone says, the game is live for us in the UK. Nice. Another name says, still not out on Steam, even though it's out on Microsoft Store. Dangerous Brian says, Happy New Year, it's ready. Nice. Is the Autopilot better than the default planes? Asked Viraj. It was given a couple of issues earlier on the Coronado model. But yeah, it's okay. Tom Packman says, unlocked and downloading now. Guys, I'm so excited for you. I really am. Because as much fun as I'm having, and I am having a lot of fun, getting to show you guys everything here, but once you get into the sim yourself, it's absolutely fantastic. You're really going to enjoy it. Tom says, will this work on my Nintendo DS? Afraid not, Tom. Barrage just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. Mr. Spoon says, the church bells are ringing. It's been released. Oh, yeah. Ocean Tierney says, it's unlocked here in New Zealand, down in Clare a few hours ago. Yeah, it's amazing how close... Oh, speaking of which, it's amazing how close New Zealand is to Clare, right? Who can name the racetrack? I'll give you a clue. It starts with silver. That's pretty cool looking. As you continue looking over the beautiful British countryside. Downloading now. Whoop whoop. Casey Gardner says, right, I'm off to bed. Thanks so much for the awesome video. I will be installing tomorrow. Casey, good night to you. Many thanks for stopping by. Jose Daniel says, uninstalled games from SSD to make room for this sim, which is my first ever. Sounds great, dude. Dara Rosny asks, Murphy, when are you thinking of doing some group flying? Meh. If I don't get around to it tomorrow, more than likely it's going to happen on Wednesday. Dangerous Brian says, I'm still watching it. Dangerous Brian, thank you so much. Patrice Anton says, I prefer Microsoft 2003. Oods. Or Umada. Or is it Umda? Umda, that's a great name, Umda. Will this work on my microwave? Yes. Telugu Gamer says, I have played the alpha, beta, and a lot of this is great. Now I'm downloading the premium deluxe version. How do you do those camera movements though? So when you're in the game, select the drone camera, and if you have an Xbox controller, just use your thumbsticks and you'll figure it all out. And you can do all this stuff, as it does look insanely good. Gary on says, great stream, Murph, I'm off. I have a noodle through your previous vids. I look forward to future streams. Ihama. Gary on, many thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. Tom Packman, you hit the nail on the head. That was Silverstone. Kenneth Naughton also said Silverstone. 2 likes to go, says Dangerous Brian. Dangerous Brian, my heartfelt thanks for all your help and support in the stream. The position of moderator has opened. Yourself and Magnus, if it's something you're interested in to support the channel, let me know, dude. Dave McKee says, legendary course. Would you believe I got to drive around that? Twice in a racing car. Dale Callagher is here as well. Howdy, Dale. Is it out in Ireland yet? Yes. Kenneth says, betcha, Murph. Dangerous Brian says, 200 likes. Wicked. Thanks so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Shameless plug time. Barry says, land at Silverstone. Mark says, love the install music. It's so relaxing, isn't it? Murphy Plays Stuff says, how big of a download? Is it like 120 gigs? You're not far off it. Dale says, won't be out on Xbox until next year. I think on Series X. But they said they were going to release it on the Xbox One. And that hasn't changed, so we shall see. UK Base says, great stream, Murph. Got mine downloading. Hopefully we'll be finished by the time I wake up. Absolutely, dude. As Murphy Plays Stuff has just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. Keane Gibbon says, landed in the fields outside a local town. Who needs airfields when you have Irish countryside? Nice. Zico asks, anyone from mainland EU got it unlocked on Steam yet? Alan says, about to start my download. Is everyone going to use the default install path, or is it better to choose your own folder? This Xbox app seems to default into the app folder, which is unusual. Jack Vibes has just subscribed. Many thanks, Jack. Welcome aboard. Alan, I have a different folder. Ideally, if you have an SSD or an NVE drive, if you have, but failing that, I would put it into a separate folder. Joe asks, are there more liveries with the release? At the moment, no. I know the Coronado has a couple of different liveries with it. But there will be in time, don't worry. Calgo Gamer says, well, I guess I need an Xbox controller then. I've already logged about 100 hours. Whoops, where did the time go? You don't necessarily need the Xbox controller. I use an Xbox controller. I can also use my keyboard for moving this drone camera around. As Ed Nelson has just subscribed. Many thanks, Ed. Good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well and you're enjoying the stream. You can see it's a little bit kind of shaky and rigidy if I use the keyboard. Mark says, I'm loving your stream whilst downloading the sim. Whoop whoop. Dave McKee says, sweet. Dale says, loving the stream. Thanks a million, guys. Paddy says, I'm installing now. Gotta wait 6 hours. Someone put on the kettle. Infinite Logic is now following. Many thanks, dude. You're very welcome. I hope you're having a pleasant evening, or afternoon, or morning. Charlie asks, what time does it unlock in New Zealand? It should be good now. Obi-Wan says, install music and your stream is great. As Alistair342 is now following. Many thanks, Alistair. You're very welcome to the channel. I hope you're keeping well. We are on the Microsoft Flight Sim hype. It's all go. I took your wife, GG, has just subscribed. I like that name. You're very welcome to the channel. Many thanks for the subscribe. Tom says, problem is the install music is making me sleepy. Yeah, it is very relaxing, isn't it? Hunter Bailey says, where did you get the 182? It's available in store in the game, in the marketplace. You can get the Coronado Cessna 182. Jack Vibe says, can you download it on Xbox One now in Ireland? Negative. Not available on Xbox yet. Mark says, mine is 93 gig. I'm using Game Pass so I can use PC or my Xbox. I would like to know more. Vulcan says, is it out in Ireland yet? It is. Andrew Noble says, it's on Steam now. Ed Nelson says, hello. Hello, Ed. Batty says, my CPU and GPU are going to have so much fun by making noise when it's installing. Depending on your hardware setup, guys, I will advise, be careful and make sure you have plenty of ventilation, because this will push your system to the absolute limit. So just be mindful of that. There's plenty of redundancy built into most PCs. I wouldn't be worrying about, you know, it blowing up and that. But just make sure you have, you know, decent ventilation for it. Mark says, uninstalling FSX while I download the new sim. Goodbye, FSX. You have been good to us for many years. Ed says, it's just come out in the UK and Ireland. JCat says, US appears to be on midnight EST. Alistair says, is it out? Depending on your location, Alistair. Orpher M says, off to get a cup of tea. Gonna be a late one, lads. Charles says, can't wait to add to the immersion with my computer sounding like a jet while flying. Not to mention the turbulence. Mark says, I have a 250 meg line. That's pretty fast. Dangerous Brian says, for those not in a position to afford the sim right now, this is a good channel to get a feel of what it's all about. Many thanks again, Dangerous Brian. That's what I strive for. Hopefully you guys can kind of get an idea of what to expect of the sim and the different places we're going to fly to, not to mention our multiplayer flights and checking out the various areas throughout the world. And depending on some of the devs, I have from time to time been in a position to beta test some things. So I'll be looking forward to showing you guys hopefully some early access, as we're getting very close to our approach into London. Good Gamer says, I called in sick today. Oopsie. Ed says, this is the best stream. Many thanks, Ed. Really appreciate the kind words, dude. Colonel Jacko has just subscribed. Good evening to you, Jacko. Hope you're keeping well, dude. You're very welcome to tonight's stream. Keane says, Knock is called Connacht on the map. Knock code and everything, but just the name. Yeah, I went looking for it the last time. It's Connacht. Lazaro's here. He says, hi, fly from Sumu. Maybe tomorrow, dude. Keane, is, if you're looking for it as well, I couldn't find Bantry. Echo India Bravo November. Mark says, I'm uninstalling X-Plane now and FSX. Infinite Logic, dude. Tom Humphrey wants to know, when is it coming out on Xbox? We have no official release date just yet. I would imagine before Christmas though. Ben M asks, should it be bought on Steam or Microsoft Store? I'm not sure which. It's up to you really. There's no advantage or disadvantage, unless of course you want to download it now. It is available on the Microsoft servers, not available on Steam just yet in some locations, but I'm sure that'll change. Patty says, I'm having 50% utilization and stable at 4.78 gigahertz. Nice. Even the Logic says, so watching you play instead. Where are we over now? Asks Toxic. Jeff, we're very, very close to London. Very close. We're going to be coming into London City in a couple of minutes. Mark says, am I right in thinking the scenery runs by the speed of your broadband? As Dixie, that's a fantastic name. Dixie Normus has just subscribed to the channel. Good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well. The scenery runs by the speed of your broadband. It does and it doesn't. Obviously, the faster your speeds are, the quicker it'll load and the more it'll certainly load. However, you can pre-cache areas and download it over a longer period of time if you want to have the better visuals. Tom says the install screen is running at 144 FPS. Result. Benjamin McNally has just subscribed. Many thanks, Benjamin. You're very welcome to the channel. Ross Keating is here. Evening, mate. You excited for the Donegal Direct event on Sunday? As Thomas Cork has just subscribed. Good evening to you, Thomas. Many thanks for the subscription, dude. Ross, yeah, super psyched, man. Thomas says we should fly a formation flight. Great channel, dude. Thanks a million, Thomas. Yeah, I'm all for the formation flying, dude. We'll definitely give it a shot. Owen B says, can't wait to set my gaming laptop on fire. Keane says, Ackle doesn't seem to be an island, doing a flyby to check. Fully Involved Game Studios has just subscribed. Many thanks, dude. You can see here on the screen, we're starting to get the backdrop of Dublin, really? Of London. As Ryan Tanner just subscribed. Adam says, I think I'll call in sick. Dominic Higgins says, downloading now, but the background music from the download page is annoying. I can't mute it as I want to listen to Two Tone, who sounds like Marty Whelan, by the way. As S. Doyle is now following. Good evening to you, sir. Dominic, if you go down to the bottom right hand corner of your screen, you'll find a little speaker icon. Right click it and go to Mixer Options. You can mute any page that's open. As Robbie Woods has just subscribed. Good evening to you, Robbie. Hope you're keeping well. Joe the Vlogger says, just being released. Jake says, is it on Xbox? Unfortunately, not yet. Gamer Michael says, can you fly over my town? It's in County Cork. Gamer Michael, if you go back through YouTube videos, I did a flight down to Cork yesterday. You'll see it on the video there. Mark says, I'm using Game Pass now, downloading it from my Xbox app on the PC. Nice. Joe the Vlogger says, fly over Essex. We'll be close to it. Can you take a small detour to Northampton on your way? Yeah, we'll do a few laps around London and we'll kind of head kind of north-ish. It'd be interesting to see how the frames stand here. The singing taxi driver says, I heard the scenery in the UK is rubbish. Well, look at the screen. That's the scenery in the UK. I wouldn't call that rubbish. Far from rubbish, I would say. Now, Grant, I say that with a caveat. There are some buildings, of course, that aren't fully modelled the way they should be in terms of, you know, the colours of the walls and things like that. But it's not too bad otherwise. Mark says, your stream is brilliant and you sound awesome and a nice person. Many thanks, Mark. Appreciate the kind words, dude. Thomas, how many gigabytes is the game? I think it's about 130 or so. Fly over Milton Keynes. Yeah, we won't be far from it, alright. Captain Matt Russell asks, do you have a donation link? I don't, not yet on YouTube. I hope to get a super chat in the next couple of days or weeks. There's something available over on Twitch, but for the moment, Captain Matt Russell, I beg your pardon, hold on to your spondoolies and invest them in the sim. But I am very grateful for your offer of generosity, dude. Many thanks. Is it still not up for me and I'm in Ireland? Says Bulkett. I should be there soon. Aaron says, can you fly over Clare Ennis? I might do it tomorrow. Adam 40 says, how are your fuel levels? As Mike Hawk has just subscribed. Many thanks, Mike. Okay, so we're here in London and our fuel is okay. Our fuel is good. Now, yeah, the frames are going to start tanking here. So I have the POI indicators turned on. So we're getting the Tower of London and we're getting some scenery loaded in. This will be interesting how the frames go. I will give it a couple of seconds, let it think about itself. It is trying to download scenery while the world is trying to install everything. Ray asks, hey buddy, I'm downloading it now. Is the install screen a blue line? Yes, it is. Ain't this Alfie? Can you go to East Midlands Airport? I really want to see it. If we have time. If not, it'll be tomorrow. James says, can't wait to do some formation flying with friends. That should be fun. Edinburgh doesn't even have the castle. It has office blocks. Says the singing taxi driver. Correct. But there are a number of POIs not in, well, they're not there really. Procrastinating Apple is here. He says, hello. So I'm heading down towards London City Airport. We'll do it in a couple of minutes, just as we're flying over London. And my little frame rates are stuttering a little bit, but let's hope they hold firm for a while as we do a bit of sightseeing as we go down the Thames. I'll keep an eye on my temperatures and pressures on my actual PC because, well, it's fairly tanking it now. So, just so you guys know, as I try and fix my views, I'm using the Orbex landmarks for London, so your mileage may vary. They've done a relatively good job at London out of the box, but Orbex have put in some really nice bits and pieces. Pepper Juice says, have you ever seen Norma Still's simulator stream? I haven't. Ain't This Alfie's asking what specs you're running. I have an RTX 2080 Ti with a Intel i9 9900K processor and 64 gigs of RAM. Charlie says, keep saying it's too early to install in New Zealand. Boo. We'll duck down from the clouds here. Bring our power back. We have the HMS Belfast just past Tower Bridge there. Have the Gherkin there in the corner if you guys can see it. The Shard is directly above us as we go a little bit low and slow. Remember, fellas, this is a day one release, so if there's going to be any issues, give it a bit of time. They will be ironed out. TJ Minecraft Gamer is now following. Many thanks, dude. As we continue on along the Thames, make a sharp turn here. We should come across Big Ben and the London Eye. Don't hit that, Murph. They won't be too happy about you. There's the Houses of Parliament. As Jamie G is now following. Many thanks, Jamie. Don't crash, Murph. Whatever you do, don't crash. Oh, bit of a tsunami going on here with the ground mesh. Sloth Energy is now following. Many thanks, Sloth. Good evening to you. I forget the name of the factory thingy out here, or is it a power station? Don't worry, we'll do a U-ey and come back up the Thames again, just so you guys can see everything. Battersby, that's the one. Many thanks, guys. Seamus Concannon has just subscribed. Many thanks, Seamus. I hope you're keeping well this evening. You're very welcome to the channel. Richard Keane is also here. Many thanks for the subscription, Richard. Hope you're keeping well, dude. So the caveat is, currently we're in a third-party aircraft and we're using third-party scenery, i.e. a lot of the landmarks are third-party add-ons that you can purchase within the sim. Peter Lamas has just subscribed. Good evening, Peter. Hope you're keeping well. Yeah, like it's going to be somewhere very close. James Kelly is here. Many thanks for the subscription, James. I think we're all, it's like the it's like the graveyard shift. We're just waiting for it to happen. Survival Sam has subscribed. Good evening to you, Sam. Many thanks for the subscription, dude. Hope all you guys are keeping well. We try and do our airborne UE here to go back down the Thames. Now, considering my settings are on Ultra, I am experiencing a little bit of stuttering, but not much. And another caveat, I'm using the one PC also to stream this in full HD, so your mileage may vary. Laps and Slats is now following. Good evening to you, sir. Many thanks for following on Twitch. It's amazing how the lighting engine works, because this is a totally different experience heading down the Thames as it was heading up the Thames. So I can see a couple of issues already. Cars are driving on the water and not the bridges. I also have Innsbruck from Orbex installed, and there's a little issue with like floating lights and stuff. But I wouldn't be too worried about it. The Berko Flyer says, Tower Bridge is coming up, under or over? It's got to be under, dude. That's if we can. X Terratase is here. Can you fly to Liverpool Airport? We were there earlier on, dude. If you want to rewind the stream. I will say this does look insanely good. Yes, there are a couple of issues just with the ground, with the mesh and with the water, and there's cars driving on the ground, but apart from that, it looks amazing. And probably another reason why helicopters weren't made available so early on in the release of the sim, because this is all stuff they got to iron out. So usually for the high flyers, you'd be looking down on this, usually from about 1,000 or so feet. So I'm not overly worried. While it is an eyesore, it's not a deal breaker for me. Milo Sanks asks, how is the 182? It's superb. Dave McKee, Orbex is payware. You don't need it to make the game run. Correct. Orbex is like a third-party add-on developer. They make their own bits and bobs. Mainly scenery to add into the world, just to give it kind of extra attention, if you like. That building drowned, yeah. There was heavy floods. So as we fly up to HMS Belfast, and let's see, can we fly through Tower Bridge here? What's the name of the castle, chat? Right, Murph, you want to go through it? Hope this works. Yeah, boy. So we'll get a bit of altitude, we'll do a little bit more exploring. We'll do a quick landing in London City, then we're going to do a night flight, and we'll tour around the place during the night time. Big Ben is behind us, buddy. Pepper just says the water levels look a bit funny. Yeah, they do. They got to do some work on that. Xterra says, do you plan to fly around Turkey? I absolutely do. I want to visit many places, and Turkey is on that list. Querty Pro says, from a historical point of view, I wonder if they placed HMS Victory in its home harbour. Would that be in Southampton, I think, would it? Mark says, really immersive, thanks for the tour. You're very welcome, Mark. Glad you're enjoying it, dude. As we go over the Millennium Stadium, I believe that has a new name now, though. Or does it? Actually, I didn't see the Queen Elizabeth Bridge either. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. We shall see. O2 venue. Producer says, wow, if this was on VR, it would be unreal. Lenore's asked, what do you like about The Sims so far? I like this. I like exploring places. The weather engine is absolutely amazing. The multiplayer aspect is by far the best I've seen in any online sim for flying. As we're going to cut back across the city, we're going to look for a couple of more landmarks, notably that of Buckingham Palace and Wembley Stadium. Mr. Naffer says the bridge is a lot further out. Yeah. The singing taxi driver says, brilliant. Looks pretty decent, alright. Now we might get a couple of drop frames here, chat, but we'll see what we can do. If we change the time of day, get the sun out of our eyes, that should relax the shadows a little bit.